it's been a while. It's been I haven't been on at all this year. I haven't been on since last year, technically, right? Um, and it's been it's been a very peculiar start to the year. Well, I mean, last year was a circus, with all the politics, all the political stuff, and everything going on. Um, but to kick off the new year, right, President Trump didn't wait for he didn't wait for anything. He came out guns blazing and arrested Maduro, the president of the illegitimate president of Venezuela, and there's concerns of what's going to happen in the country now. You know, uh, you know, the economic infrastructure and the economic stability of that country is the inflation is crazy. So since we're taking over Venezuela, what are we going to do? What do we do? Are we just there for the people, or are we there for the minerals and the oil? And you got to ask yourself, are we really there for the people? Well, in the past, Trump has been outspoken about virtually every moment he talks about the oil. Is oh, we should have took the oil, or we're buying the oil, and we need to get him out. And so this wasn't this wasn't really a surprise because he's been building up tension, shooting boats, fast boats out of the water, saying they were trafficking, without even knowing, without even getting on those ships or boats. We don't know if they were really trafficking. And the illegitimate president of Venezuela was arrested. I mean, we can see, we can see he was a dictator, yes. But what does that, us arresting him, destabilizing, the order in that country, right? We don't know. We don't know. It's a Latin country. We don't know what's their, how everything, works. But we know that the economic, crisis, is a big issue with that country because of the sanctions placed on the United States. And we know that Trump had mentioned that Venezuela stole the oil from the United States. Well, in reality, no. You can't steal something that already belongs to you and it's in your country. The point is this: we have been doing business. The United States have been doing business with Venezuela for many many years, going back as far as almost maybe 50s, 40s, and in 1976, the political climate in Venezuela was changing. They started to nationalize the oil fields that belong to foreign oil companies, such as like Shell, Exxon. You know, you understand. Um, and so this was done in 76, 1976, more than almost, or maybe almost 50 years. And so fast forward to, I guess 2017, those nationalizations of those oil fields were complete. And remember, there is sanctions on Maduro because supposedly he is an illegitimate president, and so there's already calls to want to get him out. For years, they've been talking about trying to get him out of office, and but you know, circling back to the oil theft, well, in international court, Venezuela paid billions back to these oil companies because the leases they ran out and they didn't want to renew the leases, so they had to abandon equipment, abandon So they paid them in international court for their damages or whatever, up to billions of dollars. Venezuela does this. And on the other side of the spectrum of what's going on, you know, Donald Trump is probably an investor in oil, probably lost money. Who knows? It's a possibility. Uh, but also add to that that when he was campaigning um, for his presidency, for 47 his current term, he asked Big Oil, "Hey, I need some money," and Big Oil gave him $450 million. And in many news articles about a year ago or so ago, reported that Trump himself promised a windfall, promised a payback, and Lord and behold, what do you got? We got Venezuela. Well, that thing now is backfiring because why? Venezuela is now, you can't really invest in it. This is what the big oil companies are saying that we can't. This is the second, third time we're going to go in there. The country's not stable to do business with it. So, is it worth keeping it or not? I'll leave that. I'll leave that up to you. Comment, like, subscribe, and let me know what you think. Help me build this channel. I've been working on it, and you know, appreciate your viewing of this video. And you have a good day. And I'm Ralphie Rotten, also known as Ralph, and this is In My Circle. And have a good night.